Fine. Yesterday we discussed about yeah. So what are the challenges? What are the questions and answers? Right. So as a DevOps engineer, what we have to do? Right. What are the certifications? Right. So in DevOps, what are the certifications available? What certifications we have to do? And also, what are the job opportunities? What are the packages? We discussed, right? Yeah. Day before yesterday, so we discussed about DevOps introduction, right? So what is DevOps? Why DevOps? What is automation? So why the project teams are looking for automation tools, right? Yeah, today we are going to discuss about cloud introduction to cloud computing, right? Yeah, so anyone newly joined today? This is third day, right? Anyone joined newly today? Am I audible,
Yes.
everyone? Someone is unable to. Yeah, everyone, am I audible? Can you confirm?
Yeah, you
Yes,
are
sir.
audible. We joined today only.
Right. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So today's agenda here is what is cloud computing, benefits of cloud computing, types of cloud services, what is cost saving, why the project teams are looking for cloud infrastructure, right? Yeah. So we'll try to understand what is cloud computing. Anyone having an idea? What is cloud computing? Yeah. See here, this is a definition which I collected from Google, right? So cloud computing is a on-demand availability of computer system resources, storage, and computing power without direct active management by the user, right? It is on-demand availability of resources. What is on-demand? What is on-demand? Anyone? Anyone having idea? On-demand and internet. What is on-demand? Yeah.
When
So
it is
whenever,
required,
yeah, go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead. So on-demand is nothing but so whenever we require any resources, whenever we require any servers, storage, network, infrastructure, whatever resources we require, right? So we can create within 1 minute. We can opt that resource within 1 minute. So instantly, right? Yeah. So for example, I'm working on some database server or some project. I'm working on some project, right? So we required storage. We required storage. So 20 GB storage, right? So within 1 minute, I can add that storage, right? I'm working on some database server or any application server. So I required RAM. I required 48 GB RAM from 12 GB to 48 GB. I can increase immediately within a minute, right? Which is nothing but on demand. So whenever you require any resources, that should be available immediately. So which is nothing but on demand, right? It is a on demand availability of computer system resources, storage, and computing power, right? Fine. What does it mean? What does it mean? Let us assume that there is no cloud concept. There is no cloud concept. All our infrastructure is hosted in our local data center, local server room, right? So when we have local servers, when we have a local data center, so whatever resources we have in local server room, we can take full control of them, right? For example, yeah, we have local servers in our server room. So when we have local servers, we can take full control of them, right? So whenever any issues happen with the server, we can go to data center server room and we can connect the server. We can check the server. We can resolve the issue, right? So that was the case few years ago. That was the case few years ago. So 8 years back, 10 years back, we used to use physical data centers. Still, people are using, still project teams are using physical servers, server rooms, right? But however, with the introduction of cloud, everything has been changed now. Our infrastructure is no longer sitting inside of our local data center. So rather it is being offered by a service provider like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Ali Cloud, right? Oracle Cloud, DigitalOcean, Fastly, Heroku, DNS Made Easy. These are all cloud platforms. So many platforms are available, right? So in which AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, these three are very popular cloud platforms. Fine. So earlier, 8 years back, 10 years back, we used to use all the infrastructure in our local server room. Currently, with the introduction of cloud, everything has been changed, right? So we are not using any physical servers in our office premises, right? So we are taking the resource from cloud data centers, right? For that usage, for example, I require 10 servers. I'm taking from cloud. I'm using the servers. For that usage, I'm paying the bills. For example, if I'm using the server for 1 hour daily, I have to pay the bill for 1 hour only. If I'm using the server for 9 hours from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, I have to pay the bills for 9 hours, right? It's a kind of renting, right? It's like gas bills, electricity bill. Fine? Yeah. This is Google Drive, right? So where this drive is available, where we can see this drive, Google Drive. Anyone? Yeah. In Gmail, right? In Gmail. So when we upload any files into Google Drive, so where those files will be saved? Normally we upload some files, some data into Google Drive, right? When we upload any files into Google Drive, where those files will be saved?
Into the cloud.
Anyone?
Into the cloud.
To the cloud, right? Okay. So backend there will be a server. Actually, it is not a server. It is a data center, Google data center. So when we upload any files into Google Drive, those files will be saved in directly into Google data center, right? Yeah. So basically, what is data center? Let's try to understand what is data center. Anyone having idea what is data center? Data center.
Where our data
Collections
is
of
stored.
data, collection of servers,
So data center is a server room where we host all the servers, right? So people call it as hub room, or network room. It is a server room where we host all the servers, right? Yeah. So in data center, we can find servers, switches, routers, load balancers, storages, network, etc. Right? So in server room, we can find all these devices, backup devices, right? Firewalls, whatever, right? So who will maintain these devices? Respective engineers will maintain this. Servers will maintain by server admins. Switches and network will be maintained by network team, and storage will be maintained by storage admins, right? Respective engineers will maintain these devices. Fine. Yeah. Now let us take small example. So now we are discussing. Yeah. Now we are discussing about cloud advantages. Yeah. So let us take small example here. Yeah. Let us take small Java project. Java project. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to start any project, or else if you want to start any startup company, right? Very first thing we require servers. Okay. Yeah. So for example, there is a startup company. There is a startup company, right? So this is the first project, Java project, which they are trying to get from US client. This Java project, first project, they are trying to get from US client. So before getting this project, first they need to showcase some POC. What is POC? Anyone? POC. Yeah, it's a proof of concept. So this is startup company. We are using physical servers. Here we are using physical servers, not using cloud servers, right? We are using physical servers. Yeah. So in this startup company, first project, Java project. So before getting real project, we need to showcase some POC to client. POC is a proof of concept. What is proof of concept? Some proof we need to showcase to client. The client is approved. If the client is approved, right, we'll get the real project. Right? If the client is not approved, the project will be rejected. Okay. Yeah. This POC normally 45 days timeline they give. 45 days timeline they give to prepare this POC. Right. So POC is nothing but it's just proof. Right. For example, if you want to buy any laptop or mobile, so we'll check some testimonies, some proofs. Right. Same way. So before getting real project from client, they ask us to provide some POC, right? Yeah, this POC timeline is 45 days, right? Yeah, for this POC, client asks you to take two development servers and two QA servers, testing servers, and two prod servers, production servers. Why we require this three types of servers? Why we require three environments here? We can take one server, one type of server, like development servers, right? So why we require three types of servers here? So once developer develop the code in development servers, that code should be tested on QA servers. QA or UAT both are same. Testing environment, right? Once the code is tested, then the code will be deployed onto production servers. This is the actual process every project team follow, right? So once development is completed in development servers, that should be tested first. After that, it will move to staging, pre-prod. Different environments are there. So as per the project team requirements, they use different environments. But here we can take three environments: development, QA, production. Okay. So finally, once testing is completed on QA servers, the code will be deployed onto production. Then it will go to live. Fine. Yeah. So first 30 days, developers develop the code in development servers. Once development is completed, from 31 days to 40 days, testing will be happened. Code testing will be happen on QA servers. Okay. Yeah. So after that, 41 days to 45 days, deployment will be happened. So the code will be deployed onto production servers. This is the actual process every project team following. Before getting real project, they follow this process. Okay, they prepare one POC. That POC showcase to client. Okay, if the client is approved, they get real project. Okay, yeah. Now for this POC, before setting up the servers, before set up the servers. Okay, so first we need to take licensing, right? Server licensing, OS licensing, and application licensing. We need to take, right, license. So yeah, for example, if you want to take Windows license in your laptop, you have Windows, right? If you want to take Windows license, what is the minimum period would be? What is the minimum period would be? Windows licensing minimum period?
180.
1 year, right? 1 year, yes. Yeah. So our POC is 45 days, right? Our POC is 45 days. But here they don't provide 45 days, they don't provide 3 months, they don't provide 6 months also, this licensing. They provide minimum 1 year. For application, OS, operating system, we need to take 1 year licensing. So this is startup company. We are discussing startup company, right? But if the project is fine, approved by client, we can get a real project. The client is not approved, yeah, this licensing everything will be wasted, right? Yeah. So yeah, to set up this servers, first we need to take the licensing, right? Licenses. So after that, we need to recruit one admin to build the servers, to configure the servers, because developers will not have any knowledge to configure servers, right? We required one admin here. So after that, we required one server room, we required AC to configure servers. So without AC, servers will not work, right? And we required network, right? We required server room security, right? So these are all, yeah, these are all required to set up servers, right? Yeah. So once we set up all these things, okay, if the project is approved by client, if the POC is approved by client, it is fine. If the POC is not approved by client, what will happen? This is waste of money, right? Because there is no other projects, right, to move the servers to other project. This is first project, startup project, right? Yeah. Next one, this is physical setup. So the same requirement by using cloud servers, how can we achieve this? We'll try to understand. Same requirement by using cloud servers, how can we achieve this? Okay. Yeah. Now, same Java project. Yeah, it is a startup. But here, cloud servers. We are using cloud servers. Cloud servers. Fine. So same POC, proof of concept. So 45 days timeline. Fine. Yeah. So in servers, cloud infrastructure. So whenever we require any servers, one server, two servers, or 100 servers, or 10 servers, we can create within 1 minute. Whenever we need any servers, we can create within 1 minute. Okay. But here, whereas physical servers, physical environment, so we need to place the order with vendor, Dell vendor, HP vendor. So they deliver within 2-3 days, right? Or 1 week. After that, we need to move to data center, server room. We need to insert into racks. We need to connect power network. We need to install operating system, applications, patches. So everything we need to perform, right? That takes some time to set up the servers. But here in cloud side, whenever you require any servers, we can create within 1 minute with all configurations, all applications, right? So cloud is on demand servers, right? On demand setup. Fine. So for this POC, we can create two servers first, two servers, right? Two development servers for first 30 days, right? So once development is completed, we can create two more servers, right? For QA server, QA environment. 31 days to 40 days. So once
Ram,
complete this testing, yeah, go ahead. Yes, go
like
ahead,
we are
please.
taking every time to development and to QA and to prod now. Is it
Hmm.
like standard thing to take every time to?
Not standard one. I'm giving example. It is not standard
Okay,
one.
okay,
Just example I'm giving. Okay, you can take
okay,
3 servers, 5 servers, right? Yeah,
okay. Thank you.
fine. So once testing is completed, we can take two more servers for production from 41 days to 45 days, right? Yeah. So whenever we require any servers, we can create within a minute, right? Yeah. So we don't need to create all the servers at a time. We can create two servers whenever needed, or five servers, right? Yeah. So here in cloud setup, we don't require any licensing. That will be taken care by cloud vendors, AWS vendor, Azure vendor, Google Cloud vendor, right? We don't require any licensing here, right? So we don't require admin, no admin. So as a DevOps engineer, we can create servers, right? As a cloud engineer, we can create servers within 1 minute, right? We don't require any admin. Yeah, no server room, because vendor will maintain, cloud vendor, AWS vendor, Azure vendor. They'll maintain the data centers, right? Server rooms. No central AC, no AC here. Because the data center required AC. We don't have a data center, right? We don't have server room. AWS vendor will maintain AC. No network. That will be maintained by AWS, right? No server room security. That will be maintained by cloud vendor, right? These are all maintained by cloud vendor only. So as a DevOps engineer, as a customer, as a user, what we can do, whenever we require any servers, we can create within 1 minute, right? Yeah. So here, fine. So this is cloud setup, right? So if the POC is approved by client, we'll get real project. The POC is not approved by client, what will happen? This is also waste of money, right? But here what will happen? Here what will happen? So if the client is not approved by this POC, so we need to spend here, yeah, example, $100 will be wasted. $100 will be wasted in cloud setup. But whereas physical environment, if the POC is not approved by client, $500 will be wasted. Okay. So physical servers require licensing, admin, server room, network, and we need to procure these servers from vendors, AWS vendor, not AWS, Dell vendor, HP vendor, right? So we need to perform, we need to configure manually all the servers. Yeah, we need to recruit admin. Admins will configure this. But here we don't require admin, don't require licensing, don't require server room, right? So these are the on-demand servers. So when we use cloud servers, one third cost will be saved. One third cost will be saved. These are the cloud advantages, right? So these are the cloud advantages. Cost will be saved. Cost will be saved, right? So whenever we create server, whenever we start our server, billing will be started. Whenever you stop the server, billing will be stopped, right? For example, daily 1 hour we are using server. For that 1 hour only, we have to pay the bills, right? For example, if you are using 9 hours per day, that 9 hours only we have to pay the bills, right? So these are the cloud advantages. That is why, so every project team, they are migrating their infrastructure to cloud because of cost saving, time saving. So time also saving. Within 1 minute, we can create a number of servers, right? In cloud platform, within 1 minute, we can create 100 servers, 1,000 servers also, right? But physical environment, that is not possible. Physical servers, that is not possible, right? Yeah, these are the cloud advantages. That is why, so every project team, they are migrating their applications infrastructure to cloud. Already 50% of the project teams already migrated. So yeah, rest of the projects also migrating to cloud. So that is why very high demand we have, right? So cloud side, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Yeah, currently plenty of requirements are there, right? Openings are there because of project teams are migrating to cloud. Any questions up to here, anyone? Before going to next slide, anyone having any questions? Fine. Yeah. When we upload any files into Google Drive, those will be directly uploaded into Google Data Center, right? Yeah. Now, yeah, cloud computing is having 5 essential characteristics, 3 service models, and 4 deployment models. What are those? We'll try to understand. 5 essential characteristics. First one is on demand. What is on demand? We discussed on it. What is on demand?
Instant, instant creating a server.
Instantly we can create servers, right? Whenever we require any servers, we can create within 1 minute, which is nothing but on demand. So next one, broad network access. So whatever resources we are using in cloud, those we can access from anywhere, from your home, from your office, from anywhere you can access, right? Yeah. So resource pooling. What is resource pooling? Whatever resources we are using in cloud, Those we can pull it up and we can reuse n number of times. N number of times. For example, yeah, in real-time projects, normally we get some request. So request like we require 10 servers, 20 servers for the project. Okay. So as per the request, what we have to do? So we need to create servers in AWS and we need to provide to project team. That is our role, basically cloud engineer role, DevOps engineer role. So infrastructure side, what we will do, whenever we get any request from project team, we need to create servers and we need to provide to client, the project team, right? So then they start the development. So once development is completed, what they will do, again they will raise a request to terminate the servers. What is terminate? Delete. Terminate means delete, right? So whenever we get request from client or project team to terminate the servers, we need to terminate the servers. At the same time, whatever storage attached to the server, that we have to save, because in that storage project data available, right? Yeah, so that storage we can reuse a number of times. Whenever they required again that storage, we need to connect that storage to other server and we can hand over to project team, which is nothing but resource pooling. Whatever resources are available in cloud, that we can reuse a number of times, right? So next one, rapid elasticity. What is this? Yeah, so whatever resources we are using in cloud, those we can increase and decrease in single click. By single click, we can increase the resources, we can decrease the resources. For example, I'm working on some web server. I'm getting some performance issue, right? I can increase CPUs, I can increase RAM, I can increase storage, right? Yeah, so by single click, we can increase resources or decrease resources, which is nothing but rapid elasticity, right? Next one is a measured service. What is measured service? So whatever services we are using in cloud, those are measured. For example, I'm using one server daily 4 hours. Daily 4 hours I'm using a server. That 4 hours I have to pay the bills, right? For example, I'm using a server for a daily 8 hours. I have to pay the bills for 8 hours only, right? It is a measured, right? Like electricity bill, gas bills, right? Yeah, so these are the essential characteristics, 5 important essential characteristics, right? So anyone having any questions on this slide? Anyone?
In resource pooling, the storage you are telling we can reuse the storage. So that storage also you need to pay that, using the pay.
Yes, yes, storage also we have to pay. Yes, in cloud every resource it's not free of cost. Every resource it's a costing. So for example, not only storage, not only server, even monitoring services, log services, also billing. So there is no free of cost services here, okay? Yeah, everything is costing. But as a student, we can create free tier account for 1 year, but in real time projects everything is costing, right? Next one, we have 3 service models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, what is infrastructure as a service? So we create infrastructure like server. On top of that, we can integrate DevOps tools, we can integrate different applications. We create a server. On top of that, we can install Kubernetes, Jenkins, Docker, Ansible, which is nothing but IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, next one, platform as a service. So once we log into the console, AWS console, platform already available. For example, EKS one service is there in AWS. EKS one service is there. EKS full form is Elastic Kubernetes Service. That is already available inside of the AWS. Once you log into the AWS console, we can use the Kubernetes, which is nothing but platform as a service. Okay. So next one, software as a service. This is mainly for reusability, like Google Drive, OneDrive, Amazon shopping site, right? So this is mainly for reusability. Fine. These are the 3 service models available in cloud. Next one. So deployment models. These are the 4 deployment models, right? So private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud, and public cloud. These are the four deployment models, right? So what is private cloud? What is private cloud, anyone? Private cloud and ఏంటండి? Anyone having idea?
It can be
Dedicated to specific users.
Everything is on data center, cloud data center.
Yeah. So private cloud is nothing but it is a on-premises cloud, our local cloud, our own cloud, right? Which is nothing but private cloud. So next one, public cloud. What is public cloud? Anyone? Public cloud. It is a AWS cloud. It is a Azure cloud. It is a Google cloud, which is public cloud, right? Yeah. So next one, important one, hybrid cloud. What is hybrid cloud? Anyone? Hybrid cloud.
On-prem and data center both mixed.
Right. So hybrid cloud is nothing but yeah, combination of private and public, both the clouds. So hybrid cloud is very popular currently. So most of the project teams they are using hybrid cloud, right? And especially banking domain they are using hybrid cloud. So because they want to host their databases, their account information, account data, they want to host in their private cloud, their local servers. They want to host their credit card applications, net banking applications on public cloud, right? So why they want to host on their private cloud? So for example, yeah, still people are not believing cloud, so they are hosting their databases into private cloud, right? So because they are not believing currently, so if I host my databases in cloud, public cloud, if anything goes wrong, what will happen? Like that they're thinking still. But cloud is 100% secure. Public cloud is 100% secure. So since 2012 we are using cloud. I'm working on cloud. I haven't seen any single security concern, right? Security balances, no security balances. Okay, yeah. So cloud is giving 100% security, 100% security, 100% availability, right? Yeah, security and availability is most important, right? If they are unable to provide security and availability, what will happen? For example, AWS is unable to provide the security and availability, eventually customers will switch to other platforms. For example, so when we try to book any product in Flipkart, the Flipkart is not accessible properly. What we can do? We can switch to Amazon shopping site, right? We can switch to Misho, Mintra. So many digital sites are there. That is why, so every cloud platform they're trying to give best security and best availability. Fine. And next one, community cloud. This is government cloud, defense cloud, right? So this is high secured cloud, right? These are the four deployment models available. So any questions here, anyone?
community model example.
Yeah, community model is, for example, central access data and government sectors, right? Yeah, defense. Those are already hosted in community cloud. This is high security cloud. Fine. Yeah. Is Mr. Jeff Bezos, who invented cloud platform. In 2002, Amazon Web Services was born. Right. So initially, they started selling books. They started, yeah, using their. They started using cloud for their infrastructure initially. Right. Slowly, they entered into the market. They started giving the services to companies. So now he's in topmost position, right? AWS is in first place. So most of the organizations, most of the project teams, they're using AWS. Okay, so he's the market leader. So if you search in Google, world richest man is in second place currently. Okay, Jeff Bezos, who invented Amazon Web Services. Okay, yeah. So these are the popular clouds: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So AWS is occupied 33% of the market share, right? AWS is the leader. AWS is blueprint for all platforms, right? So every platform they are following AWS. They are taking the model as AWS, right? So AWS is having very good services, very quality services, bit costlier compared to Azure and Google Cloud. So every project team, at least they are using AWS and Azure, or AWS and Google Cloud, or Azure and Google Cloud. At least two platforms they are using. Why they require two platforms? They can use one platform, right? Every company, every project team, they're using at least two platforms, cloud platforms, right? So because AWS is bit costlier, at the same time they have very good services. They give, yeah, the services are very high performance services, right? So AWS is quality services, costing also same, right? So Azure is bit less costing, cost, yeah. Azure is compared to AWS, right? Less costing, right? So, and here every project team they're using two platforms, right? So because whatever quality services they required, they provide. So in Hyderabad, we have so many supermarkets, right? So like DMart is there, Ratnadeep is there, right? Vijayata supermarket is there, right? So different supermarkets, quality costing, right? So customers they prefer their required services, right? Yeah. So the same way here also. So many platforms are there. Nearly 25 more cloud platforms are there. But these are three are very popular platforms. So currently AWS is in first place, Azure is in second place, Google is in third place. So Google is investing more on Google Cloud Platform. They're increasing data centers. Maybe Google Cloud Platform come to second place. So maybe within 1 year, 2 years. Okay. So because they are investing more on Google Cloud, so they are increasing data centers. So currently it is in third place, Google Cloud. Maybe it will come to second place very soon. Fine. These are the quadrants. Last quadrant, Amazon Web Services is in first place, Microsoft is in second place, Google is in third place. So these are the small players, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, so many clouds are there. Okay. Yeah. So cloud computing providers, these are the providers available in the market. Next one, cloud market share. Cloud market share. See here. AWS occupied 33% of the market share, Azure occupied 18%, Google Cloud occupied 9%, Alibaba Cloud 6%, IBM Cloud 5%, Salesforce 3%, TechNet Cloud 2%, Oracle Cloud 2%, right? So these are the percentages, right? Yeah, so AWS is in first place, so they occupied 33% of the market share. So as per Q2 2020, so even 2023 also same percentages are available. That is why I haven't updated this.
Salesforce is also one type of
Yeah,
cloud.
cloud, yes,
Cloud.
available, yes. Yeah, so now cloud market growth. See here, so since long I'm seeing the market is growing like this. So coming 15 to 20 years, the market would be like this. So year on year, it is growing like this. Okay, so projects are increasing and resources are increasing, jobs are increasing, right? So market is growing like this. Yeah, so coming 15 to 20 years, the market would be like this one. Fine. Any questions up to here, anyone? Yeah. So these are the things available. Now I'll show you course content. So we have course content. I show you course content now. So any questions, anyone? So far, anyone having any questions? Anything you want to discuss? Anyone? So every batch will have WhatsApp group like this. Every batch will have WhatsApp group like this. Okay. Yeah. So in WhatsApp group, we'll add. Yeah. Once you make the fee, you can add into. You'll be added into WhatsApp group, right? In WhatsApp group, while practicing, if you have any questions, you can post in the group, right? Yeah. So I give solution. For example, these are the batches. So currently 73 batches. 73 batch also running here. 73. Our batch is 74. Our batch is 74. So our batch group also created. Okay. Our group is created. People are added into group. Okay. So this is our third demo, right? Today, third demo. So if you are interested, you can make the fee by today and you can share the screenshot to me so that I'll add into WhatsApp group. So I already provided my phone number, my mobile number. So anyone joined newly, can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat today? Today joined people, whoever joined today, can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat here? In the GoToMeeting chat, can you provide your email address and phone number?
Ram, one query here. As you mentioned, the private cloud is a on-prem cloud. So who is maintaining that cloud? The end user or the vendor will maintain that cloud and they will provide the services?
Yeah, vendor will maintain. Yes, vendor only. So vendor will
Okay,
maintain that.
so it will be part of the vendor like public and hybrid. So vendor will also provide the private cloud services, right?
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah, this is our course content, right? Yeah, so these are the DevOps tools, right? So cloud platforms, three platforms, the multi-cloud batch content. In this AWS content also available, right? Yeah, see here. This is see here multi-cloud with DevOps content. AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Linux basics, right? DevOps introduction, build and release process, CI/CD flow, Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, Nexus, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Apache Tomcat, Python scripting basics. Projects also will be covered, right? Three live projects will be covered. Now, if you check here AWS syllabus, AWS course content, see here. These are the modules available in AWS. These are the modules we are going to discuss. Introduction to cloud computing, types of cloud computing, so cloud deployment models, right? Cloud service offerings, account creation. How can we create the account? EC2 instance, EC2. What is EC2? How can we create EC2 instance? How can we work on instance? These are the modules inside of this. Networking concepts, VPC, elastic block storage, EBS, right? These are the modules. Load balancer, ELB, auto scaling, simple storage service S3, right? These are all modules. This is AWS course content. See here. Sorry, yeah. So many services are there here. AWS full course, right? AWS full course. Yeah. So up to here, right? So here Linux also will be covered, right? Linux also will be covered, right? So these are the Linux modules. These are the Linux modules up to here. Okay. Next one, Microsoft Azure. So Azure and Google Cloud infra services will be covered. AWS fully covered. Azure and Google Cloud infrastructure services will be covered. This is Azure and this is Google Cloud, right? So from here, DevOps. So here, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Nexus, Apache Tomcat, Ansible. This is very core tool, advanced tool. Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. These are all very advanced tools, very core tools. So every tool will go deep dive. So very deep dive will go, right? So we are going to learn this many tools in DevOps, right? So we don't require all the tools in real-time projects. Every project team, yeah, at least they are using 2 or 3 tools. Okay, if you are good in 2 or 3 tools, you can easily crack your interview. So, but why we need to learn this many tools? If you learn all these tools, you can fit for any project. You can crack any interview. Yeah, this is the course content. Fine, I'll share with you this course content. So AWS fully covered, Azure Google Cloud basics will be covered, DevOps fully covered, right? Linux also will be covered, projects also will be covered.
Is it a sequence in your file or only
Yeah,
the
sequence I'll explain sequence. Yeah, sequence would be, yeah. First we'll work on basics. What is server, what is network, what is switch, what is router. So first few days we'll work on basics, right? Once complete the basics, then we'll start AWS. Mid of the AWS, we'll start Linux. Mid of the AWS. Okay. Linux will be covered. After that, AWS core services. So whatever command lines we required, right? So for which we required Linux, right? Command line interface required Linux. That is why once few services completed in AWS, then we'll start Linux. So again, we come back to AWS. Once complete AWS, like AWS will take 35 days nearly. Okay, AWS take 35 days. Okay, once complete the AWS, then we'll jump into DevOps tools. So from here, once complete the DevOps, again we'll come back to Azure and Google Cloud. Once complete the Azure and Google Cloud, then we'll work on projects and ticketing tools, general sessions, roles responsibility sessions, right? Mock interviews, right? Yeah, these are all one by one will go. Okay. First few days from Monday onwards, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll work on basics. Okay. Once you understand basics, then we'll start slowly, we'll start AWS. Okay. We'll enter into AWS. So after that, once complete AWS, then sequence like DevOps and Google Cloud, Azure. Like that. Fine. Any questions? I'll share with you this content, course content. Okay. Yeah. So here,
Is this
along with
only a
this,
theory part, or you can show the example for each and everything is a practical?
so if I show you theory part, is it useful or not? Is it useful? Only theory is useful? No, right? So
No.
every concept practically will do. Practical sessions, practical oriented, right? So theoretically, I explain theoretically, but you need to work on project, right? So every concept practically will see that, right?
Okay.
Initially, these are introductions only.
Mm.
Fine.
Okay.